Now 250,000. Now, but to get 275. High, but to get 275. 3. Now 300,000. Now 3 1/4. 325. High, but to get 3 1/4. But to get 325. Now half. Now, but to get 300. And good morning from Lincoln Center in Dallas, Texas, at 635 in the North Dallas Tollway. We welcome you to another edition of the Mike McGavel Jones Show. And today I have a good friend here, Judie Curry. She is a transaction coordinator with United Real Estate here in our offices at Lincoln Center. And welcome, Judie.
Well, thank you for having me.
So we want to talk about United Real Estate. And of course, that's a big part of our companies, United being our urban brand and United Country being our rural recreational farm and ranch and land division. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, because that's something you and I really haven't talked about. We know each other, but we don't know each other. So tell me about you.
Like about my career or about myself?
No, like tell me where you grew up. And
I grew up in the Bronx, New York.
Wow.
Bronx, New York.
Born
and raised.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try real hard to mask the accent.
Well,
sometimes it comes out.
You just keep working at it. So you grew up, you were born and raised there?
Born and raised in the Bronx.
And how long did you live there?
Until I was about 17. I went to college at the University of Massachusetts. Then I started a family and went back to New York briefly. And my husband joined the military. Then we did that for a while.
And then how did you get here?
How did I get here to Texas?
Yep.
Well, when my husband retired from the military, we decided to come to Texas. And he worked in Greenville, Texas. We lived there for 8 years.
Yep. Okay, just east of Dallas. And so you have how many children?
We have 5 children.
Okay.
4 girls and 1 boy. He's right smack dab in the middle, ranging from the ages of 30 to 18.
And so when you're not doing real estate, what do you do? What do you do for fun?
Spend time with my grandbaby.
Yeah.
I have a 5-year-old little boy, Kingston.
I was headed there.
That's my favorite pastime.
Oh, I've seen the pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, so how did you get into the real estate sector? How did that happen?
Well, my husband owned a medical equipment company, and we did real well in the medical equipment. Unfortunately, when the Obamacare came in, they started reducing the reimbursements. And so I got kind of scared because we had all our eggs in one basket, and I decided it was time to start venturing out to do something else, just in case that fell through.
Now, is he still in it?
He does, but he's joined me in real estate.
Okay, that's right. And I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you join our office here in Dallas?
I've been here for 3 years.
It seems longer.
It does seem longer.
Yeah. In a good way.
Yeah. It seems like I've been here forever. It's the right place to be.
So when you came on with United Real Estate, when you joined us, what were you doing?
So I'm a licensed realtor, and at United, we do need our license to even work in the office. And most companies you don't. But when I joined, I was joined as the receptionist. And so I onboarded agents and I greeted people and stuff like that. So,
and basically how this worked out is by being involved every single day, it makes it a lot easier to get into the actual business. Because you're around the transaction people, you're around the managing broker and all that good stuff. So tell me a little bit about the order of things as far as you have a managing broker.
Yes.
And his name is?
His name is Nick Bristow.
Okay. And then our previous managing broker
was Brenda Thompson.
Of course, Brenda Thompson and I have been friends for a long time, and she lives in Frisco. And now Brenda, what does Brenda do now?
Brenda works as the vice president of the franchise training now. So she moved up from a broker of our office up to corporate franchise trainer.
And she travels all the time?
All the time.
Yeah. She literally went from being a broker of record and being in our office and managing that to traveling all the time.
All the time.
And
Can't tell you when the last time she was here for a few days straight.
Sure. So I see her from time to time because she now offices in my office down the hall. And then you've got Nick, and what's his background? What's his story?
Nick Bristow, he's done so many things. He's a prior military, so he's a veteran, and he's been in real estate for a pretty long time. He was in the relo, relo industry. He did a lot of relo and stuff like that. And then he kind of slowed down, and he decided that this opportunity came available, and he wanted to join us. It sounded great to him, and he's doing a great job.
Sure. Now, how long has, and I kind of know some of the answers to some of these questions, but I also need to be reminded. When did we actually open the United Real Estate office in Dallas?
In June 2011.
So you got it down to the month. Of course, I was involved in all of that when we first started talking about creating United Real Estate, and that actually happened in Kansas City at our corporate for United Country. And say the year again?
2011.
Yeah, and see, the funny thing about that is everybody thought we were crazy for doing this because it was 2 or 3 years into the Great Recession that we had that kicked in late 07, early 08. And so people were going, now why in the world would you open another real estate company or a franchise system or an urban brand or any brand for that matter at the depths of a recession? And our thinking was, well, first off, we have when's a better time to start something? Well, when everything is down, that's the time to get in so that when things turn around, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And so Dallas was our test kitchen, basically. So that's our inaugural office. We kicked it off. We had some parties and we invited people. So tell me how this works. You have a managing broker.
Yes.
And then you have agents.
Yes.
And how many agents do we have now in the Dallas office?
Currently, we have over 405 agents.
405 agents. And they're in varying degrees of success. Some are starting, some have been in it a long time. So why would someone want to join United Real Estate here in Dallas?
Well, United Real Estate is 100% brokerage. Now, when I started my career, I was going to go with a small brokerage. And then another broker came into one of the classes and spoke about, support and like websites and things of that nature. And I was like, oh, that's right. I need something like that. So I went with a bigger brokerage. But with the bigger brokerage, I had also bigger fees. Now with United, we have very small fees and we have super mega support. That's what I do. And our fees are small, and we have websites and all the technology that you need to be successful in real estate.
So basically, you have everything that a mega like Realogy.
Yeah. And I think more. I think more because Nick, as a broker, he really wants to refer to us as an agent support center. And so that's what we do all day. We'll stop what we're doing when our agents come in to support them in their business with whatever question they have. Sometimes it's real estate questions. Sometimes it's marketing questions. Sometimes it's questions about Facebook. How do you use Facebook to
social media?
Yeah. And so we stopped to do that with them.
So we started with Dallas, and of course now we have, how many offices? Do you know how many offices we have?
Oh, we have offices all over.
I mean, from Beverly Hills
to
Virginia, Miami,
everywhere,
pretty much every major city.
Chicago, everywhere.
And I've been to a lot of these offices. And of course, the other thing is people go, well, how do people know about our company? And well, we have a convention. We had a convention in Miami last year. Or this year.
Yeah.
So where are we going to be next year?
Tennessee.
Nashville.
Yes.
My favorite place in the world. There's only about 3 places that I would want to have a second home. That's one of them.
Really?
I could live in Nashville.
Very nice.
Never pass up on an opportunity. In fact, right now I've got 3 or 4 hotels in the Nashville, Memphis area that I'm working on. So I'm excited that I get to go to Nashville and kind of do a little hanging out at night.
Well, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be
for sure.
It's going to be terrible. It's
terrible fun.
We're going to have some terrible fun in Nashville, I can assure you. So we have that. We also have awards. So our top producers, they're
Yes.
recognized, and the Dallas office has been recognized numerous times for being the top office. So when we look at the pecking order of successful offices, I'm assuming that, and based on some memory that I have, which is not as good as it used to be, but we have Dallas has been the number one office
Yes.
multiple times. Chicago has been in the hunt. What other offices are our top offices?
Really, I think Chicago and Dallas and Chicago. I think the one over there in California is another
Coming
runner.
on
Yeah.
strong. I know the folks in Louisville and Lexington over in
Yeah.
that area.
Miami is doing fantastic. The Miami office.
I would think Miami would be
Yeah.
perfect for what we do. What have they been around now? About a year and a half to 2 years?
Yeah, about 2 years. Broker over there. It's a family-owned company, and they're doing a great job. He gets on social media. He does his little 5-minute morning coffee break, something like that, and it's just terrific.
Yep. So between United Real Estate and United Country Real Estate and United SCS, the brand that I run, we have over 7,000 brokers and agents nationwide. And of course, we have a strategic relationship in Australia with United PRD. They have 175 offices that we're also co-branding there. We've moved into Asia, Saudi Arabia. Now we're not quite into Europe yet, but I'm working on that.
Very
Yeah,
impressive.
from different viewpoints too. And we also have strategic relationships with companies and educational groups. So like right now, you have training going on right down the
Yeah.
hall. So
Yes.
what do you have going on today?
So we have a real estate coach, a national real estate coach, Brian Buffini, and we have several agents in the office who are in the Brian Buffini course, and it's about a 12-week course. So they come in every Monday, spend half a day with us to learn how to market their business and grow their business.
So the training goes on all the time.
All the time.
I mean, literally it seems like, it's maybe not every time, but pretty much, at least every other time that I walk into the office in Dallas here at Lincoln Center, there's somebody training on something.
Well, we have trainings typically Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's our regular training days that we give out training. But what we're also doing now, I don't know if you're aware of this, is that we're doing everything through YouTube videos or Facebook Live. So the agents are able to come into the office and train, but the agents that aren't able to come into the office because of their
Can do it
schedule,
remotely.
yeah, they can do it remotely.
Wow.
And it's taped training, so they can just call it up and pull it up like 10 o'clock tonight. Somebody will be able to pull up a training and be able to do that.
So you can pretty much train 24/7 if
Yeah.
you want to.
Yeah. I mean, the industry is changing so much, and, agents don't have time to be inside the office, and they need to be able to get that training and that knowledge wherever they are.
Well, and our philosophy in creating United Real Estate was basically it is an office without desk hours. So, the previous models, whether it was Caldwell Banker or Century 21 or Ebby or any of the others, it was pretty much assumed if you were going to earn your place in that office, you had to be on the desk,
Yeah.
which gave them a free receptionist.
Yeah, and that's really all it is.
Yep.
I was at both Caldwell Banker and Ebby, and all I ever did on desk time, and mandatory desk time, was pick up the phone and transfer it. People do not call into the office to say, "Hey, I want to sell my house. Can you, hook me up with an agent?" That
Yep.
does not happen.
Yeah, they're getting on the search engines, and let's talk about that a little bit. So, basically, what's happening today, and I don't know what the percentage is off the top of my head, but it's a very high percentage. That if I'm going to look for some real estate, wherever it is, all I'm going to do is put in keywords.
That's right.
And pull up on the search engines, whether it's Google or Yahoo or whatever. I'm going to be looking for a specific type of property, and those are going to pop up, and I'm going to start comparing. We've said all along that we know that United Real Estate model is disruptive from the standpoint of we wanted to predict ahead of time where the curves were going to go.
Yeah.
We also knew that just like with buying Ebby, Berkshire Hathaway, they're buying everything. I mean, they're in the auto auction business. They have their car lots that a variety of brands. I mean, sometimes I think a company can get too big,
Yeah.
and whether it's Amazon or Walmart or Berkshire Hathaway or whoever. I think you become a number in almost anything when it becomes the biggest, the largest, and of course they're dealing with volume numbers. That's really all they care about is volume numbers. As long as they're hitting the numbers for the board, they're happy. In our situation, we're more of a boutique type of company. The company overall is over 90 years old. We'll be having a 100th anniversary here in the next few years, and so it was a very strong traditional office, very much very much like what we're doing with United, because with United Country, it's rural offices, little offices with mom and pop and 2 or 3 or 4 that kind of cover their county or their town or whatever. Well, we're in the franchise business. So United Country, we had a huge call center in Kansas City. So if you go back to the early years, the 20s, we go back to the 20s. Our original catalog, we have the original catalog to sell real estate in the United States sitting in the Smithsonian. And I mentioned that to Zach last time we had a show. And the thing about it is, you think about it, that's quite a legacy. And so,
that's very impressive.
And so United Real Estate basically came from that root system.
Yeah.
So the older company had probably, I'm going to say, I've seen photographs of the original call center in the plaza. So if you ever go to Kansas City and you go to the plaza area, which is kind of like the boutique Rodeo Drive area of Kansas City, you don't think about Beverly Hills and the plaza as being similar, but they are very similar. It's almost like you have Chicago, of course, has their shopping. Dallas has its shopping, but Kansas City's plaza is really a destination. So I highly recommend that if anybody gets a chance to go to Kansas City, you should go to the plaza. Go at Christmas time. It's all lit up. It's probably one of the most gorgeous places you'll ever go. But when you're there, it looks like you're in Southern California. And that is, there's an argument between the people in Kansas City that have the plaza and our Highland Park, our Highland Village, because there's an argument that has gone on for 50, 60 years about, or 70 years, who had the first outdoor mall.
Oh.
So you haven't heard that story.
No.
But anyway, going back to our office here, tell me what a transaction coordinator does.
Well, what I do at the office is I review all of the transactions. Our main focus is to keep our agents compliant and getting paid on time. And so what I do is every document that they upload into our system, I open and I review. I send them notes if there's something missing. I let them know what else they need, what additional documents they need for their transaction. And I just make sure they are, within the TREC rules of everything that they're doing.
So we're a paperless system?
We are a paperless system.
Tell me what that means.
That means that we got no
paper.
We don't do any paper. Everything is on the computer.
Yep.
And so wherever our agents are, they can pull up all of their documents. They don't have to have a briefcase full of different files. If they're working with 5 clients, they don't have to have that. Everything is uploaded into our system, and you're able to pull it up on your iPhone, on your iPad, on your computer.
So we have United Real Estate Dallas. We also have United Real Estate DFW, which is over in Grapevine, South Lake area. Where do you consider your base territory for United Real Estate? If I was gonna draw a radius circle around Dallas, where would we go?
Are you asking where our agents at the Dallas office work out of?
Yeah, and if we're just talking about Dallas, if we were looking at the concentrate, because listen, I was driving around, 65 miles from here on the way to Oklahoma, and of course I grew up in Gainesville back in the day, and I'm out in the middle of, I'd say
nowhere.
To me it's nowhere. Now it's where I grew up, but when you talk about somebody from Dallas, they're going to go like I was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I was up around Tioga area, just south of Gainesville, and there's some United Real Estate signs.
Yes.
So that tells me that not only our heaviest concentration and our real focus for this office is residential real estate.
Yes.
I mean, that's really the bread and butter of this office. However, we do have agents.
We do have commercial.
And that concentrate on commercial, and some of them do some land or lots and building lots and things of that nature.
Yes.
But the vast majority is going to be residential.
The vast majority is going to be residential, and they go all the way up to the Oklahoma border, all the way down to about Waco, which is what our MLS serves.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so we have agents all over the place.
We have a lot of our agents and brokers that are a part of our system are all part of Metrotex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And of course, I'm involved in the Tree Pack, the Political Action Committee. Do several. In fact, we just had an auction 2 weeks ago, I guess. And in fact, we have one coming up. The Red Party's coming up.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm going to be doing that, I think, in about a week, next Tuesday, Monday night or Tuesday night. Wow. It's coming up.
It's right there.
Yeah. So anyway, we're very involved with Metrotex, and of course, the game is changing even now because of the companies like Zillow. And so, tell me how you see that all playing out.
Well, what's important to know for the buyers, and what I try to educate my buyers, as I'm a licensed realtor and I am actively selling as well, is that I try to point out that their stuff is not updated. And so that's when I point them to my website. And I ask them, if you want to, you can create your own search. You can do everything you're doing on Zulu, Trulia, all of those on my website, because our United website is also branded, personally branded. So it's branded as my company, and it has the United logo on it. But to call it up, you have to put in my website, not United / somebody's name, which all the other companies do. And so you can do all of those things, and my stuff will be updated because it comes directly from the MLS. Now, Zulu and Trillian, that they updated as they look at it. So they'll go in, and look at it. But a lot of things
It's not automatic.
No, it's not an automatically updated system.
So you can't count that their information is going to be correct and up to date. And that's another reason you need to engage with an agent, because the agent is able to go straight into the systems and put together comparative analysis and things of that nature.
That's right. I had a client send me an address. Oh, I love this house. I have to have this house. This is the dream house. Well, it was about a year ago, and it had been sold in 2008. And I had to break the news. Well, you're a little late on that one.
Well, and look, it's all about updated technology.
Updated technology.
And they haven't mastered that yet.
No. And the estimates, the zestimates that they give you, totally off.
I know.
Totally off.
Well, and I've had that situation myself, and looking and going, well, I know that property, and it does not make sense. No. So anyway, just another reason why you should engage with an agent. Of course, we want folks to engage with United real estate agents, and I'm saying this to benefit you as much as anything. Judie's up on everything that's going on with our office here in Dallas. And you're concentrating on sales. And I know you work with Lori Miles. She's in your office.
Lori Miles, she's super fantastic. Whenever we have a contract question that we're all kind of scratching our head, we go to Lori.
And she's got the answer.
Lori has the answer, and she has the explanation to why. And so when our agents do come to us with those kinds of questions, we answer the question, but then we explain to them why. Because it's so important for the agent to understand it, because they can confidently then go back to their client and explain it, but they understand it now for the next time. Because not every transaction is the same, but similar issues are going to arise sometimes.
Well, she's been in the business a long time.
She's been in the business a long time.
So you're benefiting from that too, because you're sitting right there.
I sit right next to her all day long,
and you hear all the conversations, and so you're getting smarter by the minute.
I am.
Now down one room over to you, who else is in this office?
So we have Nick Bristow, the broker, who's in the office. Lori and I are in the back corner reviewing transactions. And then we have Movement Mortgage in there, and she comes in every day now. So she'll go ahead, and if we have a mortgage question, even if one of our agents are dealing with a client with a different mortgage company and they don't understand what they're asking, they can use Brenda Morterud as a resource and reach out to her and ask questions. And then we have Fair Texas Title in the office as well, and they do a phenomenal job. Ashley Grebstead is the closer that we use, that's in our office, and she does a great job. She's very knowledgeable with title, and she can answer just about any question. And then we have Catherine Swisher. Catherine Swisher is amazing because our agents get kind of confused, not understanding who exactly she works for. She works for Fair Texas Title, but she will do whatever it takes for our agents to get the deal. And so if you have a small idea of, I want to start marketing, it could be something ridiculous. I want to start marketing to people with red hair. She'll come out with a whole marketing plan and, have you off in about a week with this huge marketing plan for redheaded people. It's just the craziest thing.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, she will go ahead and work at it. And so people do get confused. They ask you, oh, well, you're a marketing girl. She's not our marketing girl, but we've built such relationships with these people that they love our agents and they want to make sure that their business grows.
Well, and at the same time, it's all about service offering. And so in our position as stockholders, in my position, and being with United SCS, Strategic Client Services, we want to make sure that our agents and brokers have every tool available, that there's not any company that could question United Real Estate and say, well, they don't have this or they don't have this. We have everything. We have the complete suite of services for any agent or broker that wants to join our company.
I can very confidently say to any agent that comes in asking, looking for a new brokerage, we have everything and more.
As you know, real estate is a people business. Even though technology has taken over a vast amount of information, it doesn't replace the personal involvement or relationships. And we also have a relationship with Champions Real Estate School. Is that right?
Yeah.
So if a person is wanting to look at getting into the real estate business and potentially be an agent and then work their way into being a broker or whatever, or even ultimately an owner of an office, because we're expanding all the time, and because we're in the major markets, but now we're also in the mid-level markets like Kansas City and Lexington and Louisville and places like that. What were you going to say?
We've started a program at United here in Dallas that we're joining agents in training. And as they're going to school in Champions, or whether they're doing it online or however they're doing it, we're helping them along in the process with their training and allowing them to come into the office and sit with us and just do their own classwork in the office as they're in the atmosphere of real estate.
So if I was someone that's watching this, because we are building, a lot of folks are watching what we're doing. If they have an interest in getting into the real estate profession, tell me how they would do that. Who would they call? Who would they contact in our office here in Dallas? And of course, they could do the same thing anywhere in the world if they wanted to, in California or New York or whatever. So what would they do?
They can just give us a call. They can call the main number.
Okay. Which is what?
972-372-0590.
Okay.
That's our main number.
Okay.
And Marcy will typically pick up the phone. That's our receptionist. But she can talk to anybody in the office about getting started.
Okay. Is there a portal on the website as well? Or should they? Okay.
There is a portal on the website. It's called Find Your Freedom on the website, and you can just click there and that'll contact you to us as well.
Okay. And then of course, for those that know me, they can always find me and I can tell them who to go to.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys.
'Cause you're wearing your Dak Prescott jersey today.
I am.
Tell me about your interest and love for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, it is endless. I am, like we said at the beginning of the show, from the Bronx, New York. So I get a lot of, feedback from my family back in New York. However, I am true blue Dallas Cowboy. We are season ticket holders, and we go to every game. And I post it on Facebook, and I'm proudly, cowboyed out with my shirt, and sometimes I have, I don't face paint yet.
That may be your next step.
That might be the next step.
That's awesome. Well, of course, being from Dallas, I've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan, and then of course when I was young, I lived in Houston. I went to high school in Houston, and but I was a Roger Staubach fan and a Don Meredith fan, and just loved those guys and Bob Lilly and all of them, and then of course things change over time, and when Aikman came along, and we've gone through a bit of a slump here the last few. It's amazing how time passes.
Okay, don't get me talking about the Cowboys because
We'll be here all day.
We'll be here all day, and I love my boys, and I believe in the power of positive thinking, and I know that Doc's going to do a great job.
Well, we're big Cowboys fans, and of course they just made the recent announcement that Gil Brandt's going to be going into the Ring of Honor, and that takes us back 50 years because Gil was a big part of the Cowboys. People don't realize that the Dallas Cowboys made the playoffs, were in the playoff hunt for 30 straight years. I mean, that's not been, I don't think any other team has done that. I was reading some stats on that the other day. But can you imagine 30 years? Now, sadly, we don't have the Super Bowls for all 30 years, but we have our fair share.
That's it,
and and there's obviously a light at the end of the tunnel because we will. I'm also a Kansas City Chief fan too, so it's the Cowboys and the Chiefs. Well, but maybe it's the Cowboys and the Indians. I don't know. But my mother was a big Chiefs fan, and so I have a lot of I have blue and red running, and of course Kansas City's having a phenomenal year. And so for all of my friends in Kansas City, and of course I lived in Kansas City for about 8 years, and I think we're having a dinging moment here. But anyway, so just thank you so much for being with me here on the show, because this is a show that means a lot to us, and I really care about the growth and success of United Real Estate, and I know that Dan Duffy, our CEO, is happy to have you on today. So
well, thank you so much for inviting me to
and
come
Zach,
down.
thanks for producing the show. You were pretty quiet today, buddy.
Well, happy to be here, Mike. I was listening to the story. I'm sorry, but I swear I'm here.
Sometimes I forget that Zach is here at all. But,
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, enjoy the Cowboys this year, and let's hope that we make the playoffs and can move forward and win the Super Bowl and have some fun.
I think we're getting close.
Well, I think the components are coming together.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, on behalf of everyone at the Mike McGavel Jones Show here in Dallas at the corner of 635 and the North Dallas Tollway at Lincoln Center, we appreciate each and every one of you joining us from here and around the world. God bless you. We'll see you next time. See ya.